Look at her, so ugly and skinny! She'll die lonely. No man will ever marry her. Cry a white egg! Monday!
What would you do if the one gift that could save your life was the same gift that destroyed every man who touched it? In the small hollow of Briar Creek, there lived a woman so overlooked that mothers used her as a warning to their daughters. Don't end up like Clara, they said. But Clara carried a secret so powerful that wealthy men would have knelt for it, and so dangerous that it would empty her arms again and again. This is the story of a blessing that became a curse, and the one man who loved her enough to survive it. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Clara Bennett was born in the quiet hollow of Briar Creek, where everyone knew her name, but no one said it with warmth. She was thin, her shoulders sharp as a fence post, her face plain in a town that prized rosy cheeks and easy laughter. The other women moved through town like they belonged to it. Clara moved like something the wind forgot to notice. But her mother, on the night she passed, whispered a secret into her ear that no one else in Briar Creek would ever know. Any man who married Clara with a true and honest heart would rise from nothing into more wealth than the county had ever seen. It was not a gift Clara asked for. It was not a gift she wanted. She wanted only to be loved for herself. Years passed, and no man came near her. Bachelors joked that they would rather stay unmarried their whole lives than stand beside her at an altar. Clara accepted this quietly. She tended her small garden, drew water from the well alone each morning, and hummed old hymns to fill the silence in her cabin. She had stopped expecting anything from the world. And then, at the autumn harvest fair, while fiddles played and every other woman danced beneath the lantern lights, a young orchard hand named Nathaniel walked straight toward her, past the whispers, past the stares, and said simply, "Good evening." Nathaniel did not flinch from her thin frame or her plain face. He listened when she spoke, really listened, in a way no man ever had. Evening after evening he returned, carrying jugs of cider and easy laughter, and something Clara had given up on began to grow between them. When they married, the town nearly fell over with shock. How could a man like Nathaniel choose her? But Nathaniel held her hand tighter every time someone whispered, and Clara discovered, for the first time in her life, what it felt like to belong to someone. 2 months into the marriage, Nathaniel's cider business began to flourish beyond reason. Buyers came from towns he had never even visited. His name spread through the county. And with his rising fortune came rising jealousy, until one stormy night, Clara woke to find the door open and Nathaniel gone. No struggle, no sound, just an empty bed and a silence that swallowed her whole. Some said wandering spirits took him. Clara refused to believe he was dead. But grief settled into her chest like a stone she would carry for years. 2 lonely years passed, and something strange began to happen. The same men who once swore they would rather stay single than marry Clara now lined up outside her cabin. Word had spread of what marrying her could do for a man's fortune, and greed, it turned out, was louder than pride. Among them was Jonas Pratt, a fisherman with a gentle voice and a heart made entirely of performance. He brought her trout, small carved gifts, and sweet promises, until Clara, exhausted by loneliness, agreed to marry him. His nets overflowed within weeks. His name became famous across 3 counties. And once his pockets were full, Jonas stopped coming home. He left for a younger woman from the next town over without so much as a goodbye. One by one, more men followed the same path. They married Clara not for her heart, but for what marrying her could give them. And one by one, once wealth arrived, they vanished or fled or simply disappeared into the hills. The town began to whisper with real fear now. There is something not right about that woman. Every man who marries her either grows rich and runs, or grows rich and rots. Clara stopped leaving her cabin. Her heart, once soft enough to hope, hardened into something that no longer expected kindness from the world. One night, ready to leave Briar Creek forever, Clara walked the narrow forest path where the old-timers said spirits still wandered. There she met an old woman with hair like river foam and eyes that seemed to hold centuries. "Child," the old woman said, "the world has punished you long enough for a face you did not choose. Take this shawl, wear it when the moon rises, and you will become a woman this town finally respects. But remember, do not remove it, not for any reason." Before Clara could ask what would happen if she did, the old woman vanished into the dark. That night, Clara wore the shawl and slept. In the morning, she woke transformed, her skin glowing like polished maple, her frame full and graceful, her face so striking that the whole town stopped breathing when she stepped outside. Men who once refused to look at her now knelt in the dirt. But Clara only smiled a quiet, guarded smile, because the old woman's final words kept echoing in her mind. Beauty is a gift, but it always collects a price. The richest man in Briar Creek, Squire Harlan Whitcomb, pursued her immediately, certain that marrying beauty and blessing together would make him untouchable. 2 months into their marriage, his cattle began dying. His land was seized by creditors. His fortune evaporated as quickly as it came, and the once proud squire was found months later wandering the county roads, ragged and broken, begging for scraps from the same people who had once tipped their hats to him. Clara watched in silence, because deep down, she already understood the truth. This new beauty was not a blessing at all. It was the same curse wearing a different face. Even as Squire Whitcomb's collapse spread fear through Briar Creek, men kept coming, whispering to each other that a little ruin was a small price for wealth. The line outside Clara's cabin never shortened. And then, one evening, a man in a long gray coat walked slowly into the town square, and every voice fell silent. It was Nathaniel, alive, the only man who had ever loved her before any of this began. Clara's knees gave out beneath her. He knelt beside her, his hands trembling as they touched the face he had loved long before the world called it beautiful. He told her everything, that Jonas, consumed by jealousy, had had him taken and left for dead in the hills, and that trappers from a neighboring county had found him and nursed him back to health. "I came back for you," he said, "only you." Clara's heart wanted nothing more than to fall into his arms and never let go. But she understood now what the shawl truly was. If she stayed cursed and married him, the same fate that swallowed every other man would swallow Nathaniel too. And she would rather lose him again than watch him disappear like the rest. So she made her choice. She returned to the forest, knelt before the old woman one final time, and begged, "Please, take this back. My love has returned, and I will not let it destroy him." The old woman studied her for a long moment. "I knew this day would come," she said. "This gift was never meant for you to keep forever. It was meant to punish those who came only for gain, and to prove which heart came for love alone. That test is finished. Go home, remove the shawl, burn it, and your suffering ends with it." Clara ran home faster than she had ever moved. She tore off the shawl and threw it into the fire, watching the flames swallow it whole. Her glow faded. Her curves softened back into the same thin frame she had always known. She became simply Clara again, plain, gentle, and finally, truly free. When she stepped outside, Nathaniel was waiting with open arms, and for the first time in her life, Clara did not wonder if she deserved to be loved. She simply was. They married quietly, without a crowd, without gifts, without a single whisper following them home. And for the rest of their days, they lived exactly as Clara had always wanted, not admired, not envied, just loved. The end.